Hey guys, Rich here from the RCNetwork.com and welcome to another episode of Tool Tuesday. Now, after about 62 episodes so far under my belt, I wanted to kind of do like a restart button right now on where I stand on a lot of the tools that I reviewed over the years here at the RC Network. And I posted a photo back about a week ago of my current setup in this ProTech RC bag, and it got quite a bit of traction because it just looked like eye candy for RC tools. And I thought I would share a quick video with you guys on what I currently carry to the track. Now, with that, I'm also going to show you some past tools that I've kind of compared my current setup to and why I've concluded to this is pretty much the best set that money can buy. So first off the case, this is actually from A-Main Hobbies. It's around 22 bucks from their website. And for all these items, I will have links in the video description so you can check it out for yourself. But pick this thing up. It's pretty bare bones basic, 22 bucks, and it carries pretty much all my tools. Now, it's important to have a good tool case because let's be honest, there's a few $100s in tools once I open this thing up. And there we go. There's the eye candy right there. Now, there's some tools that I'm definitely particular to because of their top quality. And we're going to go ahead and start off with hex drivers. Now you're going to notice I'm going to have a whole array of hex drivers up here on the top upper left-hand corner, starting with a 3.0, 2.5, 2.0, 1.5, and then I do have some SAEs still in the lineup here, 1/16, 5/64, and 3/32. I still use these to this date, even though I have no vehicles that are standard vehicles. But I do find that Robinson Racing pinion gears still use that 1/16, along with some Vanquish Products wheels. Found that the wheels use the 1/16 and also the 3/32 for the SLW hubs. So still have a need for the standards, but I gotta say these four right here from MIP are tried, proven, and used. I use these things a lot. These things have been in my toolkit for several years now, especially the 1.5 through the 2.5. I just picked up the 3.0. I use it for the Yeti motor mount and also that tricky Hot Bodies Racing or HB Racing E817. Now, I have had a lot of different hex wrenches here at the RC Network, and I wrench a lot. I build a lot of kits, and I definitely put these wrenches through their torture tests. Now, with that, there may have been issues with either the handles not agreeing with my large hands or the tips rounding off, tips breaking, gimmicky little ratcheting features and things like that. But with that, I've definitely found that the MIP hex drivers are definitely worth their weight in gold. Next, some of the supplemental hex drivers are the 50,000ths and the 1.3 millimeter right here. And I also have the 2.5 millimeter ball end. I have the smaller handle 2.0, and then I have a actually broken 1.5, probably the one of the most typically broken hex drivers. And oddly enough, I broke it on an MIP drive shaft trying to remove a red thread lock set screw. And with this, I actually turned this into a kind of a pick. So I ground down the end. Now this is used as kind of like a dirt and clay pick to get some of those items out of screws and things like that on the under chassis. Moving on to nut drivers, I have the full assortment of the MIP nut drivers. I do like the length of them. They're a little bit shorter than the average nut driver, but they have such a large shank. So you can get into those really long screws that are on like the shock standoffs, and it gives you a really good feel in the hand. Now I have the 8.0, 7.0, 5.5, 5.0, and 4.0 setup. Now you notice I don't have any standards. I just typically don't use them anymore. There's no vehicles that I have any type of standard hex nut drivers anymore. Looking at what I've wrenched in with the past, either once again, the handles or the largeness of the actual shank that goes into, like, so let's say a wheel hub. It was a little bit too large of diameter to fit into like SLW hubs. So I definitely like the MIPs because they're super thin and they're definitely tough. With the recent release of the new MIP turnbuckle wrenches, I definitely picked up a set of the 1/10 scale, so the 4.0, 3.7 for some of your Lunsford and specialty ones like the JCs, and then also the 3.25s for your AE vehicles. Very nice set overall, but with that I do have the Techno ones over here for some of my 8 scale vehicles. Looking at some of the other turnbuckle wrenches I've used in the past, of course I've used some stock or OEM versions and then some aftermarket aluminum versions, but I really like the fact that the MIPs match my other tools and they actually work. I love that they're clocked to the one side so you can really get into some of the tight features of 1/10 scale vehicles and make a full turn of those turnbuckles. Looking at some of the blue bits now, I have just a standard Cobalt micro screwdriver. So it has Phillips and standard slotted bits, and it pretty much takes care of all the other needs that you'd find in RC, maybe with some servo horns and that type of stuff, but that's pretty much what I use it for. There's the J Concepts hobby knife. This thing is superior to all. I love this thing. It has little tiny hobby knives inside the handle, so I'm never without a sharp one. You also have the J Concepts body reamer. This thing is super sharp. It stayed sharp for almost a year now, and I really like the feel of it in the hand. We also have a set of Southwire needle nose pliers. These are the 7-inch versions. They happen to fit my bag very nicely, and that's why I like using it. Finally, the last blue bit right here is the Team Associated Factory Team Shock Shaft Pliers. It is small, it is very functional, and it fits inside my bag here nicely. And finally, the last thing in my pit bag right here is the Shell Racing Innovations 7mm wheel nut wrench. Like this thing because it's so small in the hand and it's small to carry with you. And if I happen to be wrenching on 8 scale vehicles, I simply pull that out and I drop in the Team Associated Factory Team version. Fits in nicely as well. It is a small package and it takes care of all of my 8 scale needs. So that was pretty long-winded, and I've got to say I have a very nice tool collection here. I use these things day in and day out, and they've definitely provided me a lot of joy and fun in wrenching on my RCs. Now, what am I missing in my kit? I'm not missing a lot, but there's one thing that I wish I had that MIP made, and that would be a 2.0-inch ball end wrench. Now, I have used this thing right here in the past. This remains in my tool bag, in my kind of auxiliary little tool bag I carry, and this is just a cheap little version I picked up from like Asia Tees. It came in a little kit, and it's a 2.0 ball end. Now, word on the street is MIP is currently developing their 2.0 to get out to us soon, so stay tuned for that. Well guys, that is it. That is my tool collection as of 2017 in August. It is ever changing. I'm always finding new items that just trump the last version. Not sure I'm going to be trumping the MIP Hex Wrenches anytime soon, but who knows. Well guys, that is it for now. If you have any comments or questions, please post it on down below. And as always, thumbs up and subscribe. That's it for now guys. Over and out.